What up? What up? What up, Mackies? We got at your request, Big Keithstone. I first want to say this though before we get started. I gave you guys a free play today, and I told you guys the Packers was gonna win today. The free play Padres run line. Padres winning 2-0 in the seventh right now. Y'all want to talk politics? Y'all thought last night was good. Let's get into it today with Big Stone, man. First of all, homie, what do you think about the assassination in Utah?
I mean, I guess you could use Malcolm X thing when the chickens came home to roost. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? He put that out in the universe when he was
he did.
saying that he wanted to see somebody die from gun violence. So the universe picked him. Since you want it, we're gonna give you what you want. You know what I mean? That's a and I mean, when you put that kind of stuff in the universe, it's gonna boomerang. You know what I mean? And it is what it is. But
Yeah, one more thing, man. Have you seen all the black male and females showing sympathy for the dude?
of course I have, man. It
What you
just
think about that, Stone? That irks me, bro.
it's like a battered wife syndrome. You know what I mean? These people been hitting them over the head. I don't know where they get the information from, so I really don't. No. It reminds me of the days back when Jim Jones was around. Man, this dude that said everything about against their people, the blacks. You know what I mean? I mean, he rallied about talking about he wish there wasn't no civil rights movement. I guess they don't know what was happening before the civil rights, with all the lynchings, the bombings, the killings and stuff. I don't know what's wrong. I just had a semi debate with a guy, so I'm asking him about uh, Kirk saying that what he said about he needs some people to die from gun death. And the homie, he turned it all the way around and talking about black on black crime. I'm like, well, whites kill more than blacks. Do they call it white on white crime? Dude just got killed by a white dude when he was finna start talking shit about black gang violence. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know you know, I don't know, but I know a friend, a family member on my wife's side, she gave a candlelight vigil for it. Her kids
Yeah.
was praying for this guy. I was like, man, I mean, to each his own. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
seen that, and I seen the rally where they talking about white men take over or some shit, take this country back. Who you gonna take it back from? It's white people killing white people that y'all keep addressing.
but the cold part about it, they already act like they know who did it. There's nobody got caught yet. See, that's what's wrong with these dummies. They just quit to shoot from the hip, just like the FBI director. But we got him. Oh my bad. Oh, we got him this time. My bad. Instead, he act like he on a podcast instead of shutting the fuck up, do the work, and then if you find him, you find him. You know what I'm saying? Just be more accurate about it. You know what I mean? I'm tired of people coming at me like they know who did it. You know what I mean? Talking about it's gonna be a war, it's a war against them. I even seen a clip from that dude Jesse Waters on Fox News talking about it's a war. We going to war against them. They coming after who is coming after who? Ain't
Yeah.
nobody claiming that shit but y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's just
Yeah, that's the
bullshit,
funny
bro.
part. These dudes on national TV and they talking about war. I seen two different people say it. So my thing is this, like you just said, war with who?
Yeah, and about what? Another guy gonna hit me on Facebook. Uh, just with just some crazy shit. Like, I'm like, dude, won't you start off by doing this? Won't you blame the actual shooter before you start blaming ideas and people's political beliefs? Because you don't know who did it. You know what I'm saying? So, it's just like a lot of dumbness, man. And I trip off my black folks. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, like one of the homies, man, that he been a conservative for a while, man. So, like I said, I was having this discussion on another one of the homies' Facebook. We was just, we wasn't even saying, but just commenting on it. He started talking about black on black. He switched. I said, what? Because I asked him the question, did dude say what he said or didn't? And instead of him answering that question, he deflects and of course turn it on our own people. You know what I mean? Start talking about Obama and everything else. You know what I'm saying? That's just, man, I don't know what's wrong with these people, man.
I'm experiencing the same thing on Instagram, man. Dudes is hitting me left and right with with the deflection of Obama's gay, they like transgender. Man, what that got to do with this though?
Nothing, man, because they don't, man, I tell you, like I told you last time, man, people just sloganeers, man. Any little thing that they can say that's easy to say and you don't have to think about it, it's easy for them to correspond. You know what I mean? It's easy for them to so-called have a conversation with you when their conversation is limited because they don't even pay attention to what's going on today. Because if they paid attention, they'll see all these laws being changed and how this guy was one of the forefronts of ending DEI, which is only diversity, equity, and inclusion. And then they replacing it with like your grandma used to tell you, they'll put the dumbest white dude in a position over the smartest white guy. I mean black guy, right? And I'm not just saying this because I'm black. I'm saying it because it's real. Just look at the FBI director. Even though he's not white, he's not qualified. You know what I mean? But they didn't take qualified people out of positions of power, especially their leader, Trump, man. Like man, it's just, I don't know, man, it's a lot. Because you got that 34 count convicted felon, you know what I'm saying? And people just always talk about this bullshit. Like I told dude yesterday, look, man, it's not like the court was full of, the jury was full of Democrats or whatever, or political parties. It was a jury of his peers. You know what I mean? Grand jury and the jury that convicted him, right? So I'm like, man, you can't see through that. I don't want a leader like that. I know enough fellas on my own. Why would I mean, you think I'm gonna give my money to a bank robber? Tell him to hold it for me. You know what I'm saying? I'll let my kid be babysit by a sex offender. You know what I'm saying, man? You got to be silly as hell if you think
Hey,
I'm gonna follow somebody like that.
hey, I gotta say, I'm guilty under your logic. Let me tell you a quick story. I was gonna make a story of it, but I decided not to. But because you just mentioned that you would never give your money to a bank robber. Now watch this. I'm shooting dice in Cal backyard one time, and Al, the bank robber, is back there, and he gets busted. He gets broke. He looks at me, say, "Kel Mac, loan me 10,000. This is honest to God truth, and the number is right." I said, "Damn." But I know he robbed banks and armored trucks, so I know he good
Right,
for it. I just don't know if he gonna get cracked and go to prison.
right,
I'll slide him 10,000. After the crap game, I go home and I'm saying to myself, "Damn man, I don't want to have to do nothing to Al, because Al's really with the bullshit. Like you really got
right,
to sneak him because you don't want to get into a shootout with this dude." And so, them the thoughts going on through my head. And I'm saying to myself, man, how am I going to keep from looking like a punk or him getting over on me? This all negative thoughts
right,
because,
right,
I never did no business with Al. I just knew Al. And so the next day, I'm still thinking. I go check the mail, and it's $10,000 in my mailbox. I'm like, oh shit, this had to come from Al. He ain't never told me he bought the money and put it in the mailbox or nothing. And that ain't cool because if somebody like the mailman would have took that 10,000, I would have swore he never put it in the mailbox.
right. I
But
got
he,
you. He's an
but he did.
honorable dude.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
but he
mean,
did. So I put money in a bank robber's hand, but he returned it when he was supposed to.
yeah, that's right. But shit, I wouldn't put shit in Trump's hand. That's for goddamn
Right,
sure.
right. Now that's a different story.
You know what I mean? Like that motherfucker lie before a cat can lick his ass, man. Every time you see a cat, he got his leg cocked up. You know what I'm saying? So I
Yeah.
don't know, man. It's just crazy times, man, especially for our people, man. You know what I mean? And they have a sympathy for a whole administration that's erasing our history, and they don't understand what comes with that. If they can arrest you, man, if they could erase your history, man, they can replace you. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, man, they don't want nothing that we accomplish to be taught. You know
No,
what I mean? Just like with the kids, younger kids, they don't have nobody to look up to, and then their kids, they be done lied to them, and they be fucked up just like their generation of kids now that think they superior than everybody else. Man, and we all humans. You know what I'm saying? But and they be talking that, it's just a bunch of nonsense right now, man. I just, I mean, it's just, I don't know, man. It's just a lot. You know what I mean? But I'm more focused on the way somehow our people think they're smarter than they are or wiser than they are. They might be smart, you know what I'm saying, but their choices are kind of bad to me. You know what I mean? Because it's just like fuck our history. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna believe in these white people that's been lying to us for 400 years before I believe my people. You know what I'm saying? And it's not but like 20, 30% of us that go that route. You know what I'm saying? 80% of them, about 80, 75% of people is on point. But some
right,
just want to be buck. They don't want to learn nothing. Just
right.
like my partner, the comedian said, man, they go to their little community, they're idiots and just
Your
bounce shit off the wall, man.
your sound is
Uh,
going low, but I think the numbers are higher than that. It seems like it's 50-50, at least with the boisterous ones, because I run across a lot of people that are uneducated when it comes to this politics and how they pushing Americans theirs, and we handed it to them, we gifted it to them, and uh, and making us seem like the violent ones. Everybody's violent. This country was founded on violence. Y'all took everything through violence. You created a North versus South war, and you beat us, you whipped us, you killed us, you put us in noose. So
I mean, we had a good teacher when it comes down to violence and being, violent. You know what I'm saying?
absolutely, we had a good teacher. We learned from the white man. The white man,
Yeah.
most dangerous man on this earth. They done took over a lot of colonies.
But like our people have just got their heads in the sand, man. They try to explain shit away from what's going on today, but they're not realizing their selfishness and their lack of curiosity and uh and following things is putting their grandkids in jeopardy.
Yeah,
And if they're young enough, even themselves. You know what I mean?
yeah,
This is just the beginning. This is not the end. You know what I'm saying? It's just the beginning. And then you got people like what's his name, Peter Thiel, the dude from South Africa that's funding the Supreme Court, and JD Vance. Them. He's from
yeah,
South Africa, from apartheid side from South Africa. They don't want a president; they want a dictator. And then these blacks is acting like what's happening with this dude just defying court orders and doing what he want to do, sending all these people, National Guard to different cities like it don't mean that or it don't affect them. This is
right,
just the beginning. It's not the end. You know what I
right.
mean? And just think about it like this here. I'm gonna put my conspiracy hat on. I'm gonna throw a conspiracy out there. So what if one of the guys, one of the right wingers, killed this dude to spark a race war, right? And Trump got the National Guards already in LA, big city, trying to get him in Chicago, another black big city. You know what I'm saying? They already in DC. You know all the red states gonna go with him. How you know they're not putting their pieces in place? You know the way he's talking here, like the Supreme Court is, they on their knees, like you know what I mean, like that 6-3 majority, like dude got something on them because the things that they're passing in the Supreme Court don't add up. And it goes against the Constitution because anybody that read the Constitution know the Congress had a purse strings. So if Congress said spend this money on aid, they got to spend that money on aid. The executive just can't say, well, no, man, I'm not doing that. You don't write laws, bro. You got to do that. Now, you can go back to Congress and do the right thing, get them to change the law. But they not doing that in the Supreme Court. It's just like signing off, like they either with it, which I know they are, because they've been doing this shit since they stole election from Gore. But like a lot of youngsters, they don't have that wisdom and they don't have that timeline from when we came up. And they're like me, I'm 65. I can go all the way back to the 60s when like I said, I grew up in the segregated South, bro. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of history behind that, but people need to pay attention. I mean, like, how you gonna let a South African dictate uh, what America does, and then the Supreme Court bow down, just like they were slick when they wouldn't take Trump to court before the election for election about, you know what I'm saying, for that case he had.
Right.
You know what I mean? Was stealing all them documents. You think he stole them for nothing? You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy times, bro. And I don't think they're gonna be able to put the train back on the tracks without something major going on.
Yeah, we leading up to it. Ross, what feedback you talking about? Sam, what's up with Franny Blue neighborhood? Listen to this real quick. Oil of Plymouth. The pioneers. The continental. The con. The pilgrims struggling to survive in the hard winter soil of Plymouth. The pioneers striking out from Missouri for the wild and dangerous frontier. The outnumbered Kentucky settlers repelling wave after wave of Indian war band attacks from beyond the stockade walls. All of them will be astonished to hear that they were only fighting for a proposition. They believed they were fighting for a nation, a homeland for themselves and their descendants. They fought, they bled, they struggled, they died for us. They built this country for us. America, in all its glory, is their gift to us, handed down across the generations. It belongs to us. It's our birthright. It's our heritage, our destiny. If America is everything and everyone, then it is nothing and no one at all.
Yeah,
They don't.
I heard that.
They don't want no other races here, man. It's slowly coming out. I don't know when black people gonna catch on. He just straight came out and admitted everything, man. He just put it all on his shoulder. He might be the next to get chipped.
Yeah, but look, I've heard that clip, and I tell people that, but they act like you lying when you tell them that because they only go see they head is so far down white supremacists' ass. I'm talking about these blacks, so they blinded by that shit that's coming out of their eyes and it's plugging their ears up because they refuse to see what's in front of them. Man, I mean, you can only be blind. I mean, you can only be dumb so long. I mean, I guess you can be dumb for a lifetime, but I mean, it's just like, man, with all this information out here that's easy to obtain, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Just because somebody tell you don't watch this here or don't do this for you, learn for yourself. Like the homie that I was having that debate with today, he gonna talk about. I guess you don't do research like I'm a big dummy. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
And like I can't think for myself though, right? So when I was hitting him with them questions, he wouldn't answer. He kept shifting the ball. I'm like, man, and then I'm like, at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck how much research you do if it shit is tainted or it's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, dude, I believe what I see with my own eyes and hear out my own ears. I'm pretty I don't really know the word perceptive on bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It's just like it's going just growing up in America. You know right from wrong. You know what I mean? I'm not going down. They always tell you, oh, you must listen to CNN or
yeah, that's the
MSNBC and
first
all
go
that.
to. You
Yeah, but
brainwash
look,
CNN.
yeah, but the thing is that I don't. And then if you, they haven't never settled a lawsuit saying that we lied to our people and they shouldn't believe us. Fox News actually done that. That's how they won a lawsuit.
Right,
So they follow him. So why would you even follow somebody like that? Oh,
right,
but what's mind-boggling to me, like everybody seen that shit on January the 6th, and these people let them people tell them that even though they were saying it at first, they were scared as hell. But then when they seen that the majority of the angry white mob and the angry right or whatever you want to call them was going to get away with it, the whole narrative started changing. They started telling people you didn't see what you seen with your own eyes, or you didn't hear what you heard, with your own ears, man. That's a
right.
cult. That's cultish to me, man. You know.
Yeah, it's crazy. Let me read this one comment real quick from Reggie Owens. He's damn it. Fuck the comment up. No, I can't see no more, man. I'm going blind and shit.
Yeah, I've been had these glasses on since I was early 50s. Shit, I used to be able to read outside, but not up under fluorescent lights like household lights. Now I can't even read outside without glasses.
All right, Reggie Owens said too many of our people have chosen to be dumb on their own history. They rather learn history from Charlie Kirk type white, explain the arrogance of Adam 22 types. Man,
I would, I would have to agree with that. A lot of them are like that, man. And just
I,
some of them
you
just
know,
want to be led.
I'm not smart, and I don't try to be smart. I try to pick winners in sports, though. But I will go do my research when I'm trying to find out about something that's currently going on before I start speaking on it. By the way, shout out to Big Rick. Hope Big Rick is doing very well tonight. Hope I see
Yeah,
Big Rick soon. Uh,
yes, sir. Yeah,
so
yeah,
yeah,
Rick. I
have
talked
you
to him
talked
the
to
other
him?
day. Yeah, I talked to him the other day. You know what
Yeah, I
I
heard
mean? He said he
Babyface
was doing
see
all
him
right.
every day.
Yeah,
I was
he
told
was just
Face
sitting out
go
of
see him.
hospital.
I can't hear you.
Yeah, he was in. You know, he was just sitting out of hospital for a
Oh
while.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I didn't know for a while. I knew he was there 2 weeks ago, and I know he in there now.
Yeah, well, I mean, he got out and went back. You know how it go.
Yeah,
Yeah. Hopefully he'll be all right.
yeah. Hopefully, I mean, we got to do better with our lives, man.
Yeah, with our health, man, we got to take this shit serious, man.
Yeah,
Hey,
absolutely.
but getting back to what you were saying, though, man, I'd rather for you to be wise. You know, you can be smart, but be wise, though, man. Pay attention to what's happening. You know what I mean?
I mean,
And I mean, just
I mean,
man,
it's
don't
really
be so
nothing
self.
else to do.
Or, but like a lot of people are afraid to be wrong. They're
Yeah,
afraid to make mistakes. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? But you learn from your mistakes. You know, if I'm wrong about a person, I ain't got no problem saying I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying? I'm very passionate in what I believe, man. So that's why I don't like I wouldn't throw nothing out there unless I thought I do. Like for like they talking about the shooter this, shooter that. I don't know. So I'm not gonna say if he's right, left, in between, transgender, black, white, yellow. But we know he's white. But you know, people just want to be the first person to come up with something, though, right? But then at the same time, they ignore what's in front of them. Because this dude, Charlie Kirk, that's not his first speech. If you go back there and just listen to a lot of speeches, all anti-black. You know what I'm saying? And these blacks is crying for him, getting on their knees, holding visuals. When he telling you he's superior than you and America was made for them. This fucking 31 years old, he ain't even been on the fucking, I done forgot more than he know. You know what I'm saying? This motherfucker ain't been around, but he's been taught that he's more superior than the next. And our people is just like bowing down like Buddha. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't believe in that shit, man. You know, and then I don't want to, get into the religious part of it, but some of them is in them real right leaning churches, man, that's fucking their head up too, though. You know what I mean? Talking about this dude is came from God and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot to take in, man. But you know, ain't nobody scared out here though. They be talking that shit like they want something to pop off. But you know what I mean? Because it ain't just it ain't about race. I mean, it has a lot to do with race, but it ain't gonna be like just one race and going against another race. It's gonna be a combination play. You know what I mean? It's gonna be like-minded people that believe in freedom and righteousness for their kids. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to go backwards. That's what I don't understand about the young blacks that's supporting these dudes. They trying to roll the clock back. That's why they changing the law. They bringing back Confederate statues and all that shit. And you know what I mean? Because they didn't live through that. They don't think that's real because all they
Yeah,
seen it was on TV. But for the ones of us that was around back then,
yeah,
even coming up in up into the 80s, it kind of like changed, but that shit was still here and it's still here. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what's going on, man. You know what I mean with a lot of people, man.
yeah, man. I've had arguments and debates with people over the way Trump is putting all the Confederate names and statues back up. Uh, Stu told me, shit, we the Confederates was for us. I'm like, man, you lost. You totally lost, man. But you
Yeah,
know
it's like
what?
the
I try to stop, and people keep talking about, well, Democrats was Republicans first, and it just kills me, man. It kills me that that's all they can say. They can't address what's going on now, what's going on in society now. So I don't argue with them. You know, I don't win a lot of arguments. That's why I won't go with certain other YouTubers because I'm not gonna win the argument. But I can spit some facts,
right.
and
Yeah, they.
I can guarantee you a lot of these dudes' resumes ain't shit.
Hey, but you said because that's one of their go-to lines. The Democrats started the Ku Klux Klan. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Because they've been told all that's true. You know what I'm saying? But the shit, nobody remains the same, man. Shit
nah,
flips.
it
You know what I
flipped.
mean? Shit flips. You know what I'm saying? And so you got to well, they need to just realize what's happening now. Fuck all that. You know what I'm saying? And where we at and who's doing what to be detrimental to you and your family. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's just like doesn't
But
make sense, man.
but it's kind of weird to me. You know, what I mean, it's just me personally, right? Me sitting in my spot looking at my phone. I felt like that these black people are numb to when our own homies get killed. You see our own homie getting chipped on the news. Niggas, we got multiple homies that died on motorcycles, that died by gunshots, and they want to send you the video. They sending the video around, right? But then
Right.
this white dude dies, and they can have passion for him. They have empathy for him. They are speaking to us not to make fun of them, not to stir anything up. It ain't cool. Like, homie, it's cool when one of the homies die.
Yeah.
And I am not making fun of this white dude. All I'm saying is he was a propagandist. He spit out a lot of racial hate, and he died the way that he thought was cool by saying,
Mhm.
that some politician is gonna get killed, and it happened to be him.
Yeah. He talking about he said he wanted that and they accepted that because he wanted somebody to get killed with gun violence so he could use the Second Amendment to give him his God given right. And the universe say, you know what? I'm gonna pick you. Since you advocating for this, you know what I mean? Could you put that out in the universe? Manifestation is coming to you.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And it's just like because they so good at the con, right? It's just like Trump talk like he's a superhero, he's a great war dude. But this dude, when it was his turn, the man had what, 12 draft deferments? How many he had ball spurs? Big ass coward. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like he had felonies or none of that shit. He just didn't want to go. But now he want to send all the kids, like they murdered some kids. Well, I ain't gonna call them kids. I'm tripping with that. But like they murdered some people on that boat. You know what I'm saying? No court, no nothing. And people are good with that. You know what I mean? Talking about they drug traffickers. How you know when they blew the boat up? The boat sunk in the middle of the ocean. They ain't got no evidence. And from what I'm hearing, the boat was turning around, it was headed toward Trinidad, one of them islands, and it turned around to try to go back to Venezuela when they bombed, when they killed them. I mean, how can you condone that? But then you say you with the rule of law, man. It's just like this dude here. It's just like a little boy with some army men. He's just making up shit as he go, and just talking lying. Man, he just floods you with lies, and people are getting too numb to that. You know what I'm
right,
saying? And
right.
trying to explain him away. The man is crazy as hell, man.
Let
You
me
know
say
what I
this
mean?
too, because it seemed like seemed like two people in the comment section ain't really grasping my standpoint. Maybe they referring to you, but with me, it's not even about the white guy or the color of his skin. It's the rhetoric, it's the propaganda. And what I'm
Absolutely.
specifically addressing is black motherfuckers that feel sympathy for this motherfucker. The black people that wants empathy. Why? You didn't know this motherfucker. You probably didn't know him before he got killed. So why do you want us to stand down when we make fun of black people getting killed. We think it's cool that blacks be fighting on YouTube. We love that shit. We love watching the fights. We love watching the killings and the shootings when it's us. We love seeing the police kill us and drag us down the street when we ain't got no weapons. We love to watch that shit. Now, a fucking white man gets shot in his neck. You want your people to stand down? That's what I'm addressing. To me, that's idiocy. And that's just, it's crazy because we, as black people, we love and accept every fucking body. Knowing motherfuckers don't like or accept us. You know, they like to make money off of us. That's what they do like. But anytime it's about some unity or social class, economic class going high, they don't like that shit. Anytime a black woman is in a high position in the workforce, they don't like that shit. You think they like these black women, the one that made it to the Supreme Court, or the ones in Congress and the Senate? They don't like them black females. They hate them. Listen to their speeches. That's what I'm upset about. I'm upset about black people not knowing what these white devils are saying and how they portraying America in their eyes, looking down on us and up on themselves. And now one of them killed their own, and we supposed to have some type of sympathy? No, sir. It's just another dead motherfucker. When a black dude die in the hood, it's just another dead nigga. So when the motherfucker die spitting hatred, to me, he's just another dead motherfucker. Ain't no making fun of him. This is how we do our own people. This is how we do in our community, our neighborhood, in our realm of society. So what makes his different?
Yeah, especially when he was talking that shit about George Floyd. Like I said, what you put in the universe is going to come back. But it's just a lot of it's just a damn Alexa over there talking to shit. I ain't even said shit to her. But like, it's a lot of things, man. That just is astonishing to me for us blacks, and just with what's going on being down with Trump, it's like I don't get it. This man don't care nothing about you. You know what I mean? He stole your vote, but I mean the shit that he's doing, all he do is pit one group against another. But he's never gonna do anything for you. You know, if you think pardoning a couple dudes out of jail is all you worth, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause this shit didn't hit home. 'Cause like my daughter, she had that student forgiveness loan. Not no more under Trump. My sister-in-law had a medical condition. You know where Social Security was paying for the medicine. Not no more. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of shit that's gonna hit right now. It's just now starting. This is not the end. That's what people don't understand. And just like you were saying about strong black women, they was telling you this before the election, but you chose not to vote for a qualified black woman. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't think women's supposed to be running under a woman of color, whatever your ideas, whatever you thinking. You know what I'm saying? It happened. And it's not that he done went out after every black woman that's in a prominent position. And just like now, the lady on the FCC board or whatever that board is, trying to down her, the Supreme Court gonna let him do it. You know what I mean? So I mean, so if you black, if you see all the people that's worked hard to achieve goals and reach higher, and these people just knock them down back down to the ground almost for no reason at all, simply because they black, and you still support these people, then that's self hatred to me. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, man, it doesn't make sense, man. And then you willfully ignore that, or you willfully ignorant to that because you can't have all this information to act like you don't know. That's something that you got some kind of situation where you that's what you want to believe in. And then another thing they do, they always reverse back to Obama. Like he didn't do nothing for these big head motherfuckers. He did it for the country, man. The man was solid. Now you can call him gay or whatever. I don't know. I ain't in that man's bedroom. I don't believe he is, but that's not my business any damn way. You know what I mean? But he was a presidential dude. He was smart, intellectual. But you up here bragging about a dude that can't put a whole conversation together without talking, without lying and spewing a bunch of bullshit. And then look at this cabinet, bro. You took all these people in prominent positions, especially the blacks, and you replaced them with a bunch of dummies and liars. You know what I mean? Just because they loyal to you. You know what I mean? If that's the kind of
That's
country you want,
he did that so they all agree with him. Don't go against him. That way he get his way. He's a spoiled little baby.
yeah.
And
But the thing is, this is the point I'm trying to get at. But all these people that support him talking about they love America, right? But if you really love America, how can you let this dude change the fabric, the fundamental fabric of it? That meant that you never loved it, because he's tearing it up. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I mean? It was. I mean, even though America did us fucked up, had a lot of fucked up things, but blacks kept pushing and pushing and pushing. We was getting further and further and further. Whether you like Martin Luther King or not, he got your civil rights shit. Was able to push a little further. We came from all the lynchings and stuff. It was different kind of killings on us, but we were still pushing the line. Then we get to this generation of the telephone. That's what they did. They put the motherfucking mini computers in your hand where you could just be numb to the world. You know what I'm saying? And now it's just a lot of just ignorance, bro. And then people don't care about the struggle no more. I don't know why. I mean, in
yeah,
my opinion, I could be dead wrong though, but you know that's just how I'm feeling right now. You know,
my partner Jay Ship said Raider Nation.
that's
Baby
right.
E, baby E said he said something. I can't read that shit. Let me go back. Baby E, let's see what Baby E said. Baby E said, truth be told, a lot of dudes in these hoods voted for Trump, thinking them stimulus checks was coming, but the economy's in the mud.
And he didn't even give him that stimulus check. That came from Nancy Pelosi. He didn't want to give it to him, but since they was giving it out, he was a con man, so he put his name on it like he did it. That shit come from a man that he act like it came out of his pocket. You know, it's supposed to say from the U.S. Treasury. You know what I'm saying? But he gonna put his name on it. And all these. I had about 2 years ago one of the youngsters. We was at a family reunion, like or either Fourth of July, and they was like, I don't care, I'm above the time. He gave us X amount of dollars. Let's everything. I was like, man, these dummies don't know nothing, man. I was like, and I'm trying to educate them, but I'm like, man, it is what it is. You know, man, you can't save everybody. Everybody has to be saved. Some people just
Your
gonna be like
sound is
that.
going real. Your sound's going real low. But what up, Aqua Beginnings? Candace Kirksey said, "What's up, Stone?" Shanika,
What's
what up
up,
with
bro?
you?
What's going on, man?
Candace Kirksey's a female.
How you doing? I'm good. Yeah, I barely heard you too, man. I got these earplugs in.
Uh,
You know,
uh,
these earbuds. Yeah,
yeah,
that's probably why the sound kind of bad.
when you sat up, it sounded good. But yeah, Candace said, "What's up?" Aqua Beginnings, what's going on? Black Warrior Spirit, what up with it? You guys want it? Stone to come talk politics. He's here. Y'all don't have no questions. Um, I mean, shit. Last night was a pretty good live. I thought
Yeah, I was. I had.
Stone went to sleep on me last night.
Yeah, yeah, I was wore out, man. I turned in a little early, man. But if I had known, I'd have been up because I was just tripping off this shit. I was having a lot of conversations with different people, you know, and just tripping off. I mean, I'm still astonished, man, that they act like this dude was some superhero. You know what I mean? Like, man,
Yeah,
all these blacks crying and this man and pretty much tell you that you ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like, man, what is this going on? And then, but like something you said earlier really made me think about something. Evidently, they did know this guy, or they just didn't listen to his speeches. Because it ain't
nah,
like that was his first speech. He's been saying this racist ass shit for a long ass time, you know?
nah. That's what I was saying. These people ain't done no homework. I didn't know the dude, but I immediately did my homework, and it didn't take no time to see how racist he was. He went right in. The first thing I seen was where he grew up in Chicago, and he didn't want black people moving up into the suburbs, and he didn't understand why black people wanted to be around white people. So they moved out. Him and his family moved out. He dropped out of college, and
Yeah.
and
Junior college, community
yeah,
college at that.
junior college, and he had started studying politics when he was in school. So that's really when it started. He already knew he was going to be anti-black his whole life anyway. Kiba said, "What's up,
Absolutely.
Stone? And how's your granddaughter doing?"
Oh, she doing okay. She wants to hang out, stay up, but she got to go to school in the morning. She in there sleep. She want to get on. She want to get on Ken back. She be looking at your videos. I be like, girl, you don't get off that thing. You know what I mean? We looking up. You know them kids. They know how to do everything. Now she said she
uh,
want to start a little podcast.
yeah, that's
That's
cool,
it.
man. Get her on while they're young, and
Yeah.
let her save the money. It's gonna take a while to make some money, but when the money start coming every month, just save it for her.
Yeah, ain't no question. You know,
Shit,
I
that's
mean, I try to encourage her. You know what I mean? 'Cause I mean,
I
she already
mean,
reading pretty good. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So she's straight. But
yeah.
you know,
Ralph said, has Stone entered any poker tournaments lately?
I played one a couple of months ago, about a month or so ago. I didn't do any good. I don't really have time for the tournaments, but I've been doing all right in the cash games though. You know,
Mm,
nothing real major, but you know, enough to keep it going and shit.
man, I missed the
You know,
days of seeing you at Caesar's Palace, man. I had some paper then.
yeah, I know. Man,
Man,
I'm trying to get out there, man, but you know how you slow up and square up, man, sometimes that shit be kind of like going against the grain. But I've been in this working this project for the last 2 years. It's probably gonna come to an end in January. I'll have a little more freedom. But shit,
man,
I'll be up in one of them joints this weekend.
that time went fast. I remember before you started. Hey,
Yeah.
Jay Ship said, I have a degree in political science from Howard University. Watching him talk politics, but being a community college dropout showed me people really don't actually listen to what he said. No, they don't listen to what he said, but I'm assuming, and you're not supposed to assume, I'm assuming the majority of the blacks that's on Instagram speaking up for this dude never heard him speak before he was shot. And that's what I'm saying. Only thing I ever knew about the motherfucker was he was dissing Jasmine Crockett. I didn't know
Right.
nothing else. When he died, I
Yeah.
looked him up and started reading and studying. And to the brother that said you want to hide something from a black, put it in a book, that's an old saying,
Yeah.
man. Because nowadays
Exactly.
we read and we educated. We got intellectual blacks from the streets, in prison, and so forth. Uh, Danifu showed you. A real Crip goes to college and graduates. Fought against apartheid with a group of Crips in college. Melvin Hardy went to college. So some of the original Crips educated themselves, and so their kids and grandkids want to be educated as well. You know, it really starts in the home, but sometimes, unfortunately, it has to start in jail or prison. But
But
it
why you?
goes in.
But see,
Go ahead.
that's why they dumbing down America, man. That's why they attacking schools and stuff. They don't want that people to be intellectual. They don't want the intellect. They don't want knowledge. That's why they charge it. Every other first world country, education is damn near free. You know what I'm saying? But they don't want that here because people got too wise during the real struggle and use the laws of the Constitution to move us as a people forward. They don't want that. You
No,
know what I mean? You know,
no,
we got around all those obstacles for poll taxes and everything, you know, with Thurgood Marshall. But then they replaced that motherfucker with Rufus Clarence Thomas. You know what I mean? It's just, you know, but it's up to us. Well, it's up to the younger generation, but they need to pay attention, man. They need to,
bullshit.
you know, they need to care, bro. You know what I mean? And look at them. But then I guess I don't know, they just,
Man,
we got
man,
a
man,
lot of us that's still in the game, but it's a lot that just being misinformed. But just like you said about Charlie Kirk, but I look at it like Kanye West when he went to the White House with that fool, what's his name, Nick Fuentes. He's another racist dude. He's probably Argentina or something. He got a Spanish surname, Fuentes, but he looked white, but he's a white supremacist. And Kanye West was holding him up, talking about Hitler was good and all that shit when they went to see Trump before the election. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of that's going on. People just, you know, just because they don't like one party, they try to dirty back. Obama like he didn't do enough, but he was the president for all the people. So whether you liked him or not, you know what I mean, he made things better for a whole lot of people. You know, and then nobody really lost nothing up under that guy. But this dude, you lose your rights, your freedoms, and your dignity if you're on your knees with this fool. You know what I'm
I,
saying? It's just like, man, you know, I mean, what they're doing now, man, is like say if you haven't read Project 25 or you don't want to read Project 2025, if you got Audible on your phone, just shit, man, just pay the little $14 a month. You get a lot of free shit. Then you can get real. Then you can get the information unfiltered, uncut. You know what I mean? And I got this shit when the Mueller report came out. Like I tried to read it, I bought the book. I'm like, man, I ain't finna read all this shit because there's a lot of details and intricacies that I couldn't really hold thought on. You know, because there's a lot of boring shit you got to go through a lot. So
right,
I just started listening to it. You know what I mean?
right.
And then so it works out. You know, just like Project 2025, everything that they said that was going to happen is happening. And this, like I said, this is just the beginning. You know what I mean? They want to fundamentally change America, man. They trying to make the shit like South Africa. And then you got, like say, you got Peter Thiel, them all them billionaires just really pushing this shit forward. It's like three South Africans that's behind a lot of this shit and support a lot of them judges on the Supreme Court. That's why you getting all these crazy ass rulings. But then, when people ain't paying attention. So they can get away with that kind of shit. Because all they got to do is say some slick slogan out there, and people is just like a cat chasing a laser light. You know what I'm saying? Just throw a
Hey,
bunch of bullshit out there.
hey, JRL, what's up with you? I'm gonna read. I seen a question, but I'm gonna read some comments as well. The items mentioned in Project 2025 have been happening. It's at nearly 30% complete. I guess, let's see. DJ said, you know why they say if you want to hide something from a black, put it in a book? Because it was illegal for slaves to read. It's an old racist trap that doesn't apply to life after slavery. Jay Ship said, I got a question for Stone. During the 1970s, was the rhetoric that's being said now being said and opening then?
It was being said, but because you had Nixon them and that they the ones who started with the Southern strategy. You know what I mean? Because it's like from the 1960s, when all the political violence was happening, with all the bombers and shit like that. Because the bombers, it was like what 70 bombers in the 70s. The rhetoric was there, but the people had more knowledge, and they had like Walter Cronkite. I mean, the news wasn't perfect, but you had people that were actually telling the truth, of people on the ground, and people were more informed. You know what I mean? They read newspapers, they stayed engaged, and we was just coming out the civil rights movement, so we knew what we had to fight against. You know what I mean? But then, like when the gains started coming from the '60s to the '70s, when like especially we'll use the post office for an example. Blacks was basically the backbone of the postal service during the '60s. So when the early '70s, they got a big pay raise because nobody wanted to work their job. So once they started getting the pay raise, the economy started changing for blacks. The middle class started building. Then you come through Nixon, he came with all this race shit, got through that. Then Carter came, he was trying to push the line. He was giving he had the student worker programs. He had after after school programs where you go play caroms, basketball, this, that, and other. And team posts. You know what I mean? And they were trying to help the poor, not just blacks, but just the poor. And they were trying to push the economy going up. So that's when they did that bullshit on their second term. That they made a deal where they would have released the Iran hostages. Reagan won, and the first thing he did was let 6 million illegals come over here because blacks was used to getting that pay bump. And like, man, we'll work, but we ain't worked for that. Oh, y'all don't want to work for that? We'll let these 6 million come in. We're gonna bust the unions. You know what I mean? And then we're gonna start talking about Willie Horton and putting the black head, pitting black against white again. And they did the same the playbook, but people was more wasn't as gullible. And then when crack came along, it kind of fucked us up because a lot of good intellectual people got tripped out and so yeah, it's been around, but it's just been a long process of ups and downs. But like now, it's just like our people is a lot of good thinkers and motivators is gone. We don't have a lot of good orators that can bring us together. You know, so yeah, I mean that's just my personal experience, and that's how I see it. But, them the years I was formidable, them my teenage years. You know,
Yeah,
I paid attention to a lot of that shit, but yeah, it's
right.
always been there. But it's getting worse and worse, and they changed the game from Ronald Reagan to now. You know what I mean? And then like Lil George, when he stole the election in Florida and put and appointed John Roberts as the chief of the Supreme Court. And then you see what Mitch McConnell did. It's supposed to be 6-3 the other way, but they stole 3 seats. You know what I mean? So it ain't about America. It's about power, white power. You know what I mean? And that's what they own. You know what I mean? But the cold part about it, you got a lot of whites that's not really with that. You know what I mean? They want a democracy. But at the end of the day, they're only gonna go so far. You know what I mean? 'Cause they try to protect their interests too. But you got a lot of them that's gonna line up. You know what I mean? But then you got a lot of blacks that might go the other way because they lost, man. And I mean, power is an intoxicating thing. You know what I mean? So, you
Mhm.
know, that's why you get all these blacks that won't open their eyes up toward Trump because he didn't put them in a little position and stuff. And then me personally, this don't have nothing to do with nobody else. A lot of people are caught up in mythology, whether it's through the Bible or whatever religious thing you have or whatever thoughts you have. But we're not in reality. We can't pray our way out of this. We got to fight. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying don't pray because I put things out in the universe. I just don't pray to no Bible or nothing like that. I just believe whatever in the universe comes from my ancestors and friends and foes that went before me. A collective energy, good against evil. You know what I mean? I done did evil and good. You know what I'm saying? But that don't make you an evil person. But I don't believe in organized religion. I can't have nobody that tell me that this is how you get to heaven when they're not trying to get there. They're just trying to get rich and have heaven on earth. So, a lot of people get caught up in that kind of mythology, so they easily manipulated because they have faith in something that's unknown. That's why conspiracy theories work so good. You can say anything because you can't disprove it, because it ain't reality. So you can just be like a dog chasing his tail. So it's a lot going on, man. And like me, I hate to ramble like that, but it's just so many thoughts, and I haven't learned to just narrow it down like a laser beam when you ask me something. 'Cause I mean, it's just a lot of different thoughts. But I know what's happening around me, and I've been aware of that. And I look back at you know, over my lifetime, coming up in the segregated South, my whole thought process is a little different than people because I know it's real. You know what I mean? That's why, like a lot of times we be talking, and people be talking about Malcolm. They try to pit Malcolm against Martin Luther King,
Right.
and it was two people trying to get the same thing, but two different degrees. And just for debate purpose, I might tell you that like Malcolm was a great hype man. Martin Luther King was a front liner. But both of them was fighting for the same cause, just in different ways. It wasn't one greater than the other because they loved their people. They're just two different directions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Two
Uh,
different routes to the same direction.
Go Young DJ said
If
the
that makes
Bible
sense.
don't tell you to choose a religion, so I don't know why people don't. Oh,
He said, "Well, what did he say?"
he don't. The Bible don't tell you to choose a religion, so
But what I'm saying is this here,
wait.
bro.
So why people do it? He meant.
Well, I don't know. 'Cause to me, the Bible is like read, run, spot, run. It's just a book. It's not real. You know what I'm saying? I mean, in my eyes, now you might think it's real, which is your choice. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't never seen nobody wait till like I say, if I tell you, Mac, I'm going to the store and I don't come back, how long you gonna give me, Mac, before you say I ain't coming back? 30 minutes, an hour before you say that nigga ain't coming back. But then you wait 2,025 years for somebody to come back. You know what
Stone,
I'm
you
saying, man?
crazy when it comes to religion, man. You
I
keep
mean,
me
no,
lying, man. You make me
yeah,
go to sleep, go to bed thinking, damn.
you know, I mean, it's just, I mean, come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing wrong with saying you don't know. These people was in the beginning of whatever they was going through, so they was making shit up, man. They thought the world was flat. They thought the earth revolved around the sun. They didn't know nothing. So when you don't know something, you just try to explain it the best way you can. And then when the smart ones got that we could move people, you know, because everybody had a connection to this earth instead of just feeling that connection because we have it, it's real, but we don't know what it is. You can feel it. You know it's something that you hardwired to in this universe. Before it's you to tell me what I can and cannot do, no, you're out of line. You know what I'm saying? Because all you need is already hardwired in you. You know what I mean? So you don't need nobody. I mean, you don't need nobody telling you to be broke and pay the church. But then the Bible tell him a rich man has just as good a chance to get into heaven as a camel going through the eye of a needle. So if you got a rich pastor driving Rolls Royces or even Mercedes Benz, he's not trying to get to heaven if he's trying to get rich. So why would you follow him?
Right.
You know what I mean? So, but I'm saying that to say this here. But now on Sundays you have a big congregation. Some churches have thousands and thousands of people, and they tell you that the man of God is this dude with the MAGA hat. And then you so caught up in your religion, some people are, not all, that well you believe that. You believe God sent him and this and that and the other. You know what I mean? Because they just make shit up, bro. It's a big con. But like I remember when I was doing time in the feds a long time ago, I was like 19, and an old man told me the Bible was one of the biggest con books that ever been wrote. You know what I mean? If you want to get rich, that's all. You just read that thing. You know what I mean? It's just,
Scully
it's
Blue,
like,
no, I didn't see your comment. My bad. I scrolled up. I still didn't see it. But Kev, you gotta turn down. Hey, that's funny, man. I got my keys loud like that because for some reason my phone, the sound disappears sometimes. So if I could hear my keys, then I know the sound is working. So that's why it's like that. It's crazy how Stone, Rick, Raymond were from Texas. Raymond wasn't from Texas, but have an East Coast swag, DC. Raymond's from LA, but his parents was from Texas. His mom was from Texas. He got a lot of family in Texas, but he was born and raised strictly in South Central Los Angeles.
man, I was born in LA. My mom just gave me away to my auntie when I was 6 years
How did your
old.
mom give you away, man?
Man, look, check this out, bro. I'm gonna tell you this story, man. This fucked me up, right? So, when I was growing up in Texas with my auntie, I went when I was 6 weeks old. You know how they say, well, your uncle named you, right? So
Mm,
your first thought is like, well, Unc must have called and said, well, name him, whatever his name is, right? Name him Keith or, whatever, whatever, right? So, I'm tripped off that. So, I'm up until I was like 12 to like 72, I was in Texas. I come out here. Then I went back. I come back out here at 72. And been out here ever since I went back, after high school for about 6 months, 9 months, or whatever. But yeah, so anyway, so I've been hearing that. So like, I grew up in one of those situations where my step pops, he just gave me the bare sense of what I needed, but no emotional support or none of that. So I took to the streets at a young age. You know what I mean? When I got out in seventh grade, I took to the streets just to keep up and dress like my brothers. But I wasn't getting shit. I was getting the bare bones. But I had a lot of pride, right? So anyway, what I'm getting at is like, so I go to try to get my birth certificate. I can't find it, Mac. I'm like, damn. I'm putting all the information on. I'm going all down to the county bills. I can't find it for shit. Like, man, they like, man, we can't find you. I'm paying $50, $50. So one of the homegirls worked there, that nigga. So I give it to her, and I'm like, well, this is my information. Woo, woo, woo. And then she give it to a supervisor. And then with my marriage license, they found my birth certificate, right? So she get it from me. I pay. I go there and get it. All they had was all that. I see why they wrong name. I didn't even have moms gave me away without a name. All they had was like father's last name. That's it. Baby boy, this many pounds. And I was actually born when I was born. She was staying in the Pueblos on Bandero Street. I don't even know if that street's still there, but no name. So like right now, I have to go get go to court and get a name change just to have the name that I grew up on. You know what I'm saying? So when I came from Texas, I got up under my stepfather's name, and then I can't even change that. You know what I mean? Because of all my kids. You know what I'm saying? I can't disrupt their lives and shit. You know what I mean? Yeah, man.
Somebody just
Crazy. Yeah.
texted me. Oh, first of all, BG, we both go to Texas, um, kind of frequently. So I don't know why you said come to Texas, but somebody just texted me. 50 black people got shot in Chicago in one weekend by our own people. We got bigger fish to fry than to worry about what white people have to say about us. The more we
Yeah, that's
worry about
true.
that white people's opinion, the more we take each other out. See how people don't even understand my
What's going on?
standpoint and my viewpoint. They just so quick to say anything. Say that shit in public. Say it in front of an audience. I'm not
Yeah, 'cause
saying we need to worry about what white people say. I'm saying you need to listen, pay attention to what they say because it's not good. So in return, you won't be asking to sympathize with the death of a propagandist, a racist propagandist. That's all. But people want to argue and people want to side and take different stances that they don't even understand where I'm coming from. But I
but you
think I made
know,
myself pretty clear the last 2 nights.
but you know what too, Mac? Like, yeah, but it's black on black crime because blacks around blacks. So who else they, you know what I'm saying? Like it's white on white crime. They don't be, you don't see them statistics on how many white people kill white people. You know what I'm saying? Even though we're trying to change that, we're working to change the mentality of the youngsters, but it's up to them to believe in each other. Our days is numbered. We ain't got that much time on top of it. And yeah, gang activity made it real bad for our community, right? But I mean, the youngsters. I mean, the youngsters is the one who have to make change. All we
Yeah,
can
but
do is try to tell them they don't have to. They don't have. They should learn from our failures, right?
right.
So that's where they need to get their wisdom and knowledge from. So and
That's the
like you
best
said,
teacher.
some of them just feel that power with that hammer and they don't want to give it up. You know what I'm saying? That I don't believe in senseless gun violence, but then you got to look at this. You just can't blame it on them. You got to blame it on them gun makers too. Because when we was coming up, we seen the change from 38s to sawed-off shotguns and zip guns to fullies. And there's switches. You know what I'm saying? I mean, them weapons of war. You know what I'm saying? I mean, back in the days, you might have had one dude with a Tommy every now and then. You know what I'm saying? On M16 and whatever. But when the 80s came, man, shit, that changed the game. Everybody had Mac 10s and 9s and the Uzis. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
I don't know how we're going to turn around, but we should. But every time it's a trouble because when you start talking about how the system is fucking us and the whites run the system, blacks always throw about what we do to each other. Every race do something to each other. That's
right,
not what we're talking about.
right.
We're talking about the systematic shit that's happening. The ones that's changing the laws and then killing you in broad daylight and getting acquitted. You know what I'm saying? They can kill you on TV. They ain't got to be a police. All they got to do is say they were scared of you. You know what I mean? But until we change our own mindset, and become knowledgeable, we gonna always be vulnerable to that. You know what I'm saying? Then you got a lot of old heads that don't want to, that didn't live it the way they did live, wanted to live, the thought it should be living. They put a lot of poison in the youngsters' head instead of trying to turn them around. And if they was hitters, still try to turn them around. You know what I mean? Because I don't know how to break that cycle. You know what I mean? And I'm not for to preach to nobody about what they do or not do. You know what I mean? If you ask me, I'll give you my point of opinion. But
Some,
you know,
somebody want to know how many Keithstones from '60s.
shit, two.
Um,
That's it.
a lot of people said real talk, Stone. The system was designed to set us up for failure. Truth, Mr. Stone. Proximity plays a part in most killings. Violence is not unique to black people. We are all human beings. Scully Blue, I didn't see your question, homie. No disrespect, but give us your question because I'm gonna be getting up out of here in a minute. Green Eye Stone and you, Big Keithstone.
Yeah, yeah. And then I mean, you just throw damn near all the stones in it because it's a heritage line. But I never was one of them cats who wanted a little this. I wouldn't even let my little brother be Little Keystone. People just wanted that name because the name was hot at that time when I was doing my thing. But I was always kind of doing. I didn't want to get mixed up because I see the other homies get mixed up in cases
Oh,
where you know what I'm saying, where they name pop up. It just my name popped up because of stones, and I was, you know how that shit go back. You
yeah,
know, ain't nothing wrong with it, but I just wasn't on that. Cause I
yeah,
was like, I was like, I'm trying to be quiet in the cut back in the day when
right,
I was into too much shit.
right,
You know what I mean? So I don't need nobody else to make me hotter than I was already being hot. And
right.
then going to the feds early, I learned
Yeah.
a little something about different situations and shit.
I mean, I never
You know?
felt like that, but it make a lot of sense because Lil Mac was wild, and I got a phone call one day. This the irony here. I get a call from a homie one day, and he say, "Man, give me my car back." I said, "What?" He said, "Give me my car back, nigga. Who you talking to?" He said, "I'm talking to you." This Kid Mac. I'm like, "Yeah." He say, "You just took my car, cuz you don't give me my car back. I'm calling the police."
Yeah. I mean, but see, it's a trip too, cause like Gwen, I keep some people that don't know we had a relationship. You know, I just didn't put him on. I remember when I came home, we was going on to his house in the hills, and he was like, look, you big Keystone, I'm little Keystone. I said, man, I never looked at it like that.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
right,
saying? I just kept it 100 with him. You know what I mean?
right,
That was cool. I'm like, man, you bring it out, whatever. You know, I appreciated the thing that he wanted to carry the name on. I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? But it was because I was just, I don't know. I just always thought a little different.
yeah,
Because my thing was, trying to stay free as I can. Because like I said, I was doing a lot of shit back then.
right,
So I didn't want to know, I didn't want no mix ups. You know what I
right.
mean?
Hey, Scully Blue, he already answered that question, man. You wasn't listening. Dust your ears off. Put some new plugs in. He said he in LA right now. He said he came back to LA in 1972. Uh, I seen you ask the same question over and over, Scully, but he already answered that. I think BG wanted to know what do you know about the Hilltop Crips?
Hilltop talking about in Richmond
I don't know.
or out there in Seattle.
Seattle or up Slauson. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, there's a lot of you got hilltops in Tacoma, and then you got you in Richmond. I don't know if they still there. Was a couple of niggas claiming hilltop the set over there like a long time ago, but that shit didn't never go nowhere. But I guess you might be talking about Tacoma, Washington, because I know in the hills that that was just the over hills. You know what I mean? It might have been some hilltops. I know. Shit, you gotta ask a warlock them and all them about that big cat now. You know, And I don't know nothing about that.
Man.
You know anything about that, Mac? You more or less in that
Not
story.
really, other than the Warlock. Warlock was one, and supposedly, I guess Motor Mouse was one, and Motor
Motor
Mouse
Mouse,
broke couple
Yeah,
of them.
Lil Cat Herman. See,
Yeah,
but like if they were, that it didn't last long. 'Cause I remember we had the meeting at Ladera Park when we was putting all that shit together. Well,
yeah.
when Face never put it together because I ain't really had no say so. But I was one of the ones up at that park with him. You know what I mean? And when everybody came together with Warlock, Lil Warlock. You know what I'm saying? But then that's when we was doing a lot of shit too, because we was trying to have some Crips in Inglewood by Morningside and all that shit. Before the Crenshaw Mafia came about. So it was like in the beginning stages, you had a lot of cliques in different parts of town that just trying to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was trying to figure it out till once the neighborhoods got established, then it was a different program. So the startup groups, I mean, I respect them and all that, but the ones that didn't last, I really don't put too much thought in because, you still got to be able to maneuver, but at my age, I ain't really tripping on that shit there. But like back then,
Original
building
sixes
a
became
coalition.
originals became sixes. You have hilltops in Washington. You have hilltop hoods in Dago, South Bay. I'm hilltop hood from South Bay. Uh, yeah. We had hilltop Crips and supposedly up in the hills. I'm not sure how long it lasted. It didn't last long. I think it might have been. I was told it might have been about 12 or 15 of them. But
It's just like the avenues.
yeah,
You know what I mean? The avenues didn't last long. You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? It was just because like then people were just trying to find themselves, man. Gangs was forming and disappeared. It was just building coalition. You know what I mean? Survival of the fittest. But you had some old cliques that stayed, that was pretty, got their format pretty down. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? But like,
yeah.
yeah, it
Yeah,
was
it was
just
cool.
something,
Y'all had that
something
meeting in
new.
'75, man. I wonder how it would have turned out. I mean, I don't want to know how it would have turned out had the hood not become consolidated. But
Yeah,
those that was involved in that was a good thing, man. That was for the betterment
yeah.
of the community.
Yeah, it didn't happen overnight, but shit, motherfucker,
Yeah,
like you said, it ended up bringing everybody together.
yeah. Well, I'm gonna go, Stone. Scully Blue want to know if you got an Instagram.
Yeah, I don't really be on it though, but yeah, you can find me on the Keithstone. I got one.
All right,
That's
I'm gonna tap out, man. We finna go over to the sports channel, capping with Mac for y'all. This
yeah,
underwear.
that's right. Yeah, but I hope I entertain y'all, man. Yeah, I'm finna call it a night myself, bro. And Mac, I'm trying to put up something I can get out there, man. I got to just figure it out. I might just come up here before this project over with, but I need to get out there and see you, bro. So I'll tap here,
All right, for sure, homie.
but
All right, everybody. I'm going over to the sports channel with DJ, capping with Mac right now. Peace. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Later.